bit versus bitless. This is a snaffle bit. This will lay on his tongue and like this. When you pull the rings, it moves the metal joints, right? And these are your aids. This is a bitless bridle called a side pull. The reins are actually attached to this ring right here. So it's kind of like riding in a very fancy halter is honestly what it is. He's more trained how to work in this than he is a bit, just because he's a sensitive boy. We don't need to add more than necessary at first. It's more of a pulling. So you're more pulling their head around like that. All the pressure is being applied to their nose. There's a big discussion about whether or not bits are abusive or not. My stance is they can be and they don't have to be. There's a saying that like any bit can be harsh in the wrong hands and any bit can be soft in soft hands. I completely disagree with that. I think there are some bits that no matter how soft you are, should not exist, should not be in a horse's mouth. But a snaffle bit like this and many other bits are more on the gentle side, and as long as you are a responsible rider, then I think it's okay. Now, he has not had a bit in a hot second, and he hasn't done a whole lot of work with a bit. So you might see him going, start kind of like playing with the bit a lot. These flies are so bad. You're not going anywhere. That's the camera, you big old. I know, you're a camera hog. Ugh. The bit sits, they have teeth in the front. This is his canine, and then they have molars back here. So the bit sits in this space right here where there's no teeth. When you ride with a bit, you are connected directly to their tongue and the corners of their mouth. So all of our horses are expected to be able to ride in a bit and bitless. Obviously, a lot of competitions do not allow this type of bridle. They should, they really should, because if you can do all that stuff in a bitless bridle, you're more impressive, because you don't have as fine of aids. So if your horse will just go off your seat and your legs, then I personally believe it's a lot more impressive than with a bit, because a bit is definitely a tool to help you. The con people say is that bitless bridles are not as effective at stopping a horse as a bit. Honestly, I think if a horse ain't gonna stop, it ain't gonna stop no matter what's on his face. And sometimes people feel safer in one than the other, and sometimes their horses are better trained to one versus the other, which could come into the whole they won't stop.